Even her enemies think her a beautiful ship, and to me she possesses beauty of an allegorical kind too, a beauty of suggestion. This is because Yamato is no ordinary battleship, but the most powerful warship there has ever been. When I was very small, I lived on the coast of the Bristol Channel, and I had a telescope, and my constant delight was to go up on the sea cliff with my telescope and watch the ships coming by. I've never lost that fascination with ships. I've always been particularly interested in battleships, the ultimate weapon of sea warfare. The idea of empire was already fading when these great ships were built. They were empty symbols of glory. Nevertheless, they were glorious in a way. They represent in another sphere what I'm trying to represent in this book, really. That the idea of glory itself was a bit of a fraud in the end. I came across the story of the book in a memoir written by one of the young Japanese sailors who was on board the ship. Marvelous things like courage and loyalty were debased by the fact that they were concerned with vile objectives very often. The whole thing seemed to me to be a very squalid mix-up of beauty and hatefulness, and became for me a kind of allegory of war itself, which cannot be good in any way really, and yet produces such, in many ways, wonderful things. So that was the genesis of this book, for what it's worth. Throughout the book I've referred to works of music, but as for the paintings and the other pictures that have come into my memory as I wrote the book, represent the horror of war and the beauty of war, and that's very much the point of this little book that I've written about this. The bad stuff has been disguised in an allegorical way into something rather wonderful. And the final picture of the book is a particular one of the reconciliation between two armies. It isn't true, but just for that moment in this picture by Velázquez, you have a glimpse of a beautiful truth, that somewhere in there, behind all this muck and misery, there's something good. For me, that's something good because I'm not actually religious, but I believe very much in the idea of kindness. I think kindness is the answer to all our problems. It lies at the core of beauty, and it is something that we all know about, we all understand, we know what kindness is, we all know how to be kind. And the more we try and aim towards universal kindness in the widest possible sense of the word, the nearer we come to peace and reconciliation, which that particular picture in the book demonstrates. Nobody ever built another Yamato. Yamato herself lived on though, in legend and in folk memory. And the passing of the generations gave to the story of the ship an extra pride, loyalty and regret. When in 1985 her remains were identified at the bottom of the Pacific, it was decided not to raise them but to leave them in magnanimous memorial. And do we not share that instinct, you and I, as we read of her fate? Her cause was crazy and cruel, but her conduct was honourable. And the fact that all those Japanese men, admirals to deckhands, fought to the death in such style, for such unnecessary reasons, in such momentous allegory, makes her end, to my mind, all the more touching.